if it for practicing or for the game, yeah, it's
Just in case.
if she can find somebody else. Yeah.
All right, can you hear me okay? Loud enough? Good evening, I'm Coach Preston, I'm the director of K-Stars, I'm sure that you probably know that. We're gonna fly through this stuff tonight, so I'm gonna move kind of quick, so I can get you out of here about 45 minutes from now. If we got questions in the end, I should have time to be able to do that. I was trying to get the other group out so y'all could get in because of the parking. How was the parking? Was it horrible or was it not bad? It was okay? Or was it bad? We had 12 teams, so at one time I was curious if it was going to be bad. If we could manage that, we're good. Because we only have 2 teams practicing at a time here, so it's not like this. So as always, we're going to start with a prayer. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. God, please help guide us this evening as families as we embark on this journey. Please guide these coaches as they mold these young ladies into wonderful young women, and for these young ladies to become better people and better volleyball players. In your name we pray, amen. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to hit the gas on this, so hang tight. So Leon is the owner of Houston Stars. Leon and I partnered up on the Katy side. So he's in both sides. So Leon was here earlier. He's the one that got the new facility on the Houston side, and we're just embarking on this one together. Tracy is somewhere, there she is with her awesomeness. If you are doing anything with gear or anything on the operations side, anything that's going to deal with the Houston and Katy side, that would be Tracy. And so now you have a name with the face with that kind of stuff. She'll talk to you about gear and stuff like that here in a second. And then Erin Bears. Erin is living the dream right now. She's with Athletes Unlimited, and she's in Arizona. And then she's going to California, which is really hard too. And she's playing pro ball in California now. So she'll be back in March. So if you talk to Erin via email, if it's delayed, there's time differences on that place that she's at. So just be aware of that. And anything that you send to me, CC Erin. I'm buried. And so if I miss an email from you, Erin normally will tag me on it, or she'll say, did you respond to this? And if I don't respond to something, email me again or text me again. Because it'll settle down in about 3 weeks, but right now with the facility, with all the things that work, really, really busy. So for our coaches, that's not y'all's coaches. Shane is over there. Shane is our 16 elite head coach. And then Brittany Yates is over there. And she's the assistant coach with Shane. 17 elite is Coach Frankie. And then Elise is on vacation. So nobody thought for Frankie. Sorry, Frankie.
Way to go, Frankie.
Yeah. Elise is on vacation. She'll be back. So she will be Frankie's assistant. She's twice his height, which will balance things out too. I am the 18 elite head coach, and Coach Alicia is the assistant coach for that team. And then 18 national, which is 18-17 team, is Monica. And then Coach Bates, I don't think she's here yet. Is Coach Bates here yet? She was going to be running late. She's at another meeting. You'll see Coach Bates. She refs as well. You've probably seen her and didn't know it. So she's pretty awesome. So we are looking at positional. So one of the things that we talked about last year that we didn't did I miss something? I did too. My bad. I made it all the way through the last meeting. And Coach Chanel, ladies and gentlemen, on the stage here. Yes. And then Coach Briley over there will be assisting with the 16s. Bradley played for me at Katy United right before COVID hit. No, it was, you were way before COVID, weren't you? When did you play for me? 2020-ish? So anyway, so Bradley's at Texas Lutheran as a senior. She's playing volleyball over there. She graduates in December, and then she's coming straight on staff. We're super excited about her. Did I forget anybody else you know? We good?
No, we're good.
Okay, good. Gotta keep myself in check. Positional. So one of the things we identified last year that we really wanted to do more of, we couldn't, was positionals. And that's because of the facility arrangements we're in, were just really difficult. So the only way I was able to resolve that is, A, we're a faith-based organization, so Sundays is kind of like not the best day to practice every week. And plus, if you have like tournaments, it messes up like your days and stuff like that. So we're going Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, and then Sundays will be open up for like positionals. If we wanted to do like a big faith moment as a community, we can do that. There's a lot of different things we can play with on those Sundays. Scrimmages, stuff like that. So we are targeting positionals. Practices are going to start, God willing, on November 18th. Okay? If the gym opens earlier than that, we'll do some open plays, we'll get some people in here. But the guarantee date right now is the 18th. We'll go, if you're Monday, Wednesday, it'll be Monday, Wednesday that week, and then we'll do positionals on that Sunday to tack an extra practice in before Thanksgiving break. So that's the goal right now. Facility update. So, there's been parent volunteers. First of all, I cannot even begin to tell you how much we appreciate the parents that are coming in. And if you can't, it's really okay, we understand. But it's kind of fun being a part of the building process, that when it's up, you kind of look back and be like, that was kind of cool. You know, I painted the bathroom. You know, whatever it is, you did. We had, when we first got in here, that whole back area over there was a gymnast field. And it was about 8 foot tall, and it's about literally from where that sign is all the way to the wall, where they could run and jump into foam pits. And I don't know who built it, and if you do, let us know, because we are looking for them. Because they use like nail screws, hex screws. Like it wasn't just one type of screw. And if you've got to take something apart, having to take that bit out every second, and there's 3,000, 4,000 screws, it was a nightmare. So it took us about 4 days to get that structure out. And then we painted, and Coach Bear, wherever he's at, did a ton of painting for us. I don't know where he's at, probably painting right now. There it is, taking a break. Anyways, we just started painting. We'll have everything the gym done, hopefully in the next week, and then we're waiting on the floors. The minute those doors open, we're going. But for right now, we're putting on the 18th. The basketball court, we have one big basketball court that'll go this way, and then you'll have basketball courts that go this way, middle school size basketball courts. And within those basketball courts will be one individual volleyball court. So we decided to go 2 courts versus 3 because they're competition courts. We have room to actually train full blown, like you can chase the ball out of bounds versus chasing the ball into somebody else's court. You know, so we wanted to give it more space. We lose money on it, but it makes better training. And that's kind of what we do. So we'll have 2 competition courts. We'll have tournaments here. There should be a net system in the back, in the corner here. And then on the back outside, there's about a 60 by 100 square piece of land. That was a pole vaulting thing. We're turfing it. And so we'll have about a 60 by 60 turf area to do conditioning, training, soccer, whatever they want to do out there. It'll be lit. And then we're also looking at beach volleyball courts, right? And that's, I don't know how long that will take us. If it, mattering on how much this all costs is how much we jump on the sand. So, but we really want that because that's something we're big about, sand. So, and nobody does it around here, which is a big plus. And then upstairs, up here, so this is for the parents, not the kids. I don't know if you've heard about this. This will be a VIP lounge. So we are building a wall all the way around the top. So there's a quiet area. So it has to be membership only because we can't have a lot of people up there. But it'll be leather couches, there'll be an 85-inch TV, there's a golf simulator that'll be in there for golf lessons during the day, but it'll be open up for like a dad's league or something like that. And there'll be a coffee area up in the, if you can see that ugly, I shouldn't say ugly, that other color up there, that was this building. So if you get an idea of what this looks like now, it's a ton better. I don't know what color it is, I'm a dude, I made that joke last time, I have no idea, but it's just not my color. So we're closing that off so there's not balls flying up there and stuff like that. They'll have high-end Wi-Fi. So I mean, if you're here on an evening, you can go up there and sit down with the computer, have a glass of wine and relax. So it'll be a VIP thing that we're doing for memberships. I'm missing anything on the facility? I think that's it. Oh, we'll have pickleball here too, which is kind of cool. A lot of people play pickleball. I think I got everything on there. Outside parking. The parking is the biggest thing we're kind of just eyeballing because unless y'all are doing Ninja Warrior stuff, the hard part is going to be like with the Ninja Warrior guys, volleyball school, the vinyl people won't be here, they won't be here. It just may be stretched a little bit. But because there's only 2 teams here, it should not be very bad. You should have plenty of parking. because we'll have 2 layers of teams coming through here, but it won't be as bad as like for this. We've got 12 teams coming through. That was a little bit chaotic. And we made it through that, and 2 teams should not be an issue for us at all. So I already went through the coaches. What are our goals? Our goals are to be a better person and a better player. Just trying to figure out kind of what separated Katie. You know, we talked about things. I was kind of thinking like, what is it? And Faith and Vibe kind of nailed it. And the faith side is important to me because we're not trying to make you Christian. Whatever you are is fine. But I think just saying a little prayer every once in a while goes a long way. I think it's missing. And so it could be something to say, you know, hey, I hope you really do well, a little prayer, whatever. But just having a little faith, I think, is a big deal. And we'll have faith moments this year. I'll talk about that in a second. And the vibe is just kind of who we are. We're a family organization. And we kind of pride ourselves on that. Like, I stand fast if I have excellent coaches, your kids are going to get better at volleyball. And the better we get, the better this club's going to get. But it's a community. You know, that's why you saw a ton of volunteers come in here and just come in and want to paint. You know, come in and people are like, what can I do? Can you mop? I got you, no problem. Like, that's just kind of the vibe we throw around here. And so we want to keep that vibe. The character thing, obviously we're going to push character, training, learning. I call it the game of life because it really is. Like, volleyball is the same thing. Like, if you may not play, well, you may not get a job. Like, life happens, and that's what volleyball is about. So learning how to accomplish that is going to help you accomplish things later in life. So 82% of executive business women play sports as young women and say their lessons they learned on the field contributed to their business success. And I completely agree. That was a fun fact. Training is our priority. So every club in the nation says this. They're like, you're paying to be trained. And you are. And playtime is not guaranteed. We will do everything possible to have everybody have a role. We'll have everything we can do to get people up and we're up. But the reality of today's game is you gotta win or you're hosed in regionals. If you're playing in the Lone Star region, you have to finish in the top 50. So there's some tournaments we'll be able to play with people and some tournaments we can't. Like there's be teams we're playing to win every single game because we're trying to get us there. Now, when you're at a qualifier, it's a different story than we're playing in a Houston Stars tournament. Big difference. But we're a competitive atmosphere and we're going to play. Coaches are instructed to try to do their best to win. But they also need to learn how to manipulate lineups to get kids in and out as much as you can. And understanding roles is crucial to your success. If your kid serves for a middle, those points count. The 18th team is qualified every year and they've medaled in every qualifier they've played for the last 2 years. Every one they play. And the reason is everybody on that team knows this is my role. I'm going to do everything possible to accomplish what's in front of me. That may be 1 point and maybe every single point. And there's different challenges each position. But building those roles is what builds success. Because if you're worried about something else, you're distracted, and you're not going to be successful when you try to get ahead. So as a group and a culture, playtime is earned. And if you don't know why you're not playing, or if you have a challenge, that is life. And you have to find a way to accomplish that. Talk to your coach, find out goals. Make it so obvious that she has to play, right? And push the person in front of you to be better because that's what's going to cause you to win. But playtime is not guaranteed. And if you're worried about playtime, you're in the wrong club. Worry about playing volleyball and getting better and pushing everybody around you and being a teammate. And you'll win regardless. But playtime is not guaranteed. So the faith moments. So Coach Tim, if y'all remember Coach Tim from last year, he moved to Arkansas. Did I get it right? I heard somebody say it at the same time. Thanks, Mike Carey. So Tim is going to try to zoom in on a couple of days. If he's in town, he'll be here. We are looking at doing once a month on a faith moment. We'll do it in between the 2 practices. Won't be a part of our training time. But last year they were very well received. They were just inconsistent because of the facilities. So he does a really good message. I'm supposed to go up to Arkansas and film some stuff with him that y'all can watch as well. And whenever you have a faith moment, that is for parents and players. Practices. So if the coach has not told you when you have your breakout session, they know your practice times. So it should be sent out early. So if you don't know, ask your coach at your breakout and they'll tell you what time of days your practices are. We're practicing at St. John and we're practicing here. All right, so we have 2 courts here, 5 to 7, 7 to 9. And then the St. John side, we have 7 to 9 across the board. But when basketball ends, we may be able to adapt that to make it easier on some people. And there's also going to be some crossover. Like for instance, Monica's got 18s. We may be bringing that in with us on a Wednesday night to be able to get together on that kind of stuff. So there'll be some movement. The location, you obviously see that on there. We're going Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Cell phones. So players, this is not for parents, you guys can have your cell phone. Parent or players, you guys, when you get in the gym, get your stuff done and put it up, it stays up until practice is over. I don't want to see like we're going to get water and you're jumping on something and looking at it. Leave your phone up. Please take this to heart. It's 2 hours where you don't have to worry about anything else with volleyball. No matter what you have going on in your life, you can shut it down for 2 hours. That's one of the reasons why I love coaching, is when I come to the gym, I can stop thinking about everything else and focus on what's in front of me. So put the phones away, relax, right? I know you're not gonna text the boys because no boys are in club season, right? No boys are drama, leave them alone, play volleyball, okay? Boy. All right, so dress code, please wear your pants with spandex, all right? When it starts getting colder, it's obvious, throw your jacket on, throw your sweats on, but if it's nice outside, just throw your shorts on, especially at qualifiers. Like when we're in that building, once you walk out of that building, make sure you got your cover-ups on. If you're here, especially, have something on over your spandex, please, okay? Make sure you wear your shirt. I know that sounds really simple sometimes, and like mid-season we forget. It's a task. And the more that you focus on the little things, the more successful the bigger things you become. Don't bring the wrong shirt. Don't lose your shirt. If you lose it, plan ahead, get another shirt. But please make sure you're wearing the same clothes as everybody else. Just because you're libero doesn't mean you get to wear a different practice shirt. Refs. So, my little mini next. So, with the refs, sorry, I like to with the refs, I think we forget sometimes that they're human, right? And being on that big, tall thing above everybody when people are yelling at you is probably the most anxiety-driven thing you can do. If you've never repped an experience, it sucks. I understand they make mistakes, and I understand that impacts us. And trust me, if anybody should yell, let the coach do it. But as parents, you're wearing our gear, you're in the stands, please don't lay to the refs. Go put a Willowbrook shirt on and go get it. But don't do it in our gear. Because all of these coaches know me. I guess Willowbrook doesn't even exist anymore, so I can throw them on the bus. Yeah, they're prime now, which is okay, I love you. But the biggest trick is that those refs know our brand. And what I can promise you is they're always going to be leaning on us because they know us. But the minute we become that club that's overly aggressive with refs, you have a stigma. And I don't want to have a ref not call a game leading my way because the 14's team parent yelled at them. They remember this stuff, they're human, right? And at the end of the day, we don't have enough good refs right now. So yelling at the ones that are decent is just going to make things worse in the long run. And you're going to have somebody that's worse because nobody wants to do that job anymore. So please be kind to the referees. It's important. If you've taken the ref classes or if you down ref, it's part of the game sometimes. But let us as coaches, and the coaches know, and I'll talk about it tonight, I don't want them charging refs either, right, Frankie?
Yes, sir.
And so I don't want to be that club where we're always complaining, because then when a moment happens and I do complain, it carries a lot of weight. Like if you see me hot in a match, people know it's probably something not right, right? Or if they don't acknowledge me, I will let them know. But I also, at the end of the game, regardless of how much I don't like them, I will shake their hand. And a funny example, I think somebody was walking me the other day. We had a game in the national championship, or national tournament, and I had my hat on. I stopped wearing hats because I used to always throw them when I got mad. And so I said, go line. They didn't do it, which that requires the hat to come off. And so I threw the hat down on the ground. I called a timeout. I'm talking to the team, and I'm hot. And the down ref comes up to me. She's terrified. It was like this 21-year-old girl, and she's like, "Coach, the up ref's giving you a yellow card." And I was like, "He's giving me a what?" And it's like, "Yellow card." I'm like, "Why?" And she's like, "You can't clear your hat." And I'm like, "I can't do what?" And I've been doing this for 20 years. So I looked up at him, I'm like, "I can't clear my hat." And he's like, "You can't clear your hat." And I'm like, well, then I started kicking my hat. I'm like, "No, I'm gonna get the yellow card." So I started yelling at him. And so ever since then, though, it's been a running joke with me and that ref, because after the game, I shook his hand. I'm like, I get it, I was hot. But those relationships are built where I can go off at a ref and they understand who I am, and I'll but they don't know you. And so if you lay into them, they're going to remember. So just be kind to us. So really long story, I'm sorry. And also with the duties and to the girls, because you guys are older. I don't hit the younger as hard on this. You guys need to do your job. Because I promise you, if you miss a call or you're not paying attention, they're gonna line judge our game. And then they're in that situation where you've got somebody that's not mature enough to differentiate it, and they purposely miss a call against us because you weren't paying attention. And treat it like you would like yourself treated. Pay attention to the books, put your phones up. If you're a line judge, do your job. I don't care if you're like, do it. Just do it right. But please do your jobs as refs. And please, if you are reffing, you're all required to stay on the court. So if Lily's reffing, I'm not gonna go to the store and get a t-shirt. I'm staying with that team until it's done. The coach will give you a break. All right, if you have to go to the bathroom, take your team with you. I'm just kidding, you don't have to do that. But go and come back. But that is not time to go with your family to go get lunch or something like that. When you're with your team, if you're not reffing, you're old enough, scout. Right, watch the game and be around, okay? So we're not looking for you, please. So the score reffing clinic, I'm gonna send this stuff out. So we need 3 scorekeepers and 1 R2 if a parent wants to do it. If you wanna learn more about the game, it's a good thing to actually go take. It's a provisional, so you can copy the test. So it's not like you're gonna fail, so don't worry about that. But the more we have, the better. Now, I normally have my coaches ref, but if something happens and having a parent that can do it, it does help sometimes, especially if a coach is coaching 2 teams. So if you wanna take it, you're more than welcome. But I would have more than 3 on your team on the scorebook, because what sucks is 2 kids know how to do it, 1's gone, so the whole tournament that 1 kid's got to do the score. And if we don't have somebody in a tournament that has that honor, you can lose. Like they'll make you forfeit. I've seen it happen in regional 7 times. Scorekeeper clinic. I'm going to send something out about this stuff because we're going to do it now that we know when we're going to be open. Joe Campbell's been talking to me. I'll have a date. We'll do it here. And then we'll also have a scrimmage day, which is cool because you can do your evaluation all at one time, and you're done. You just send it in, you're done for 2 years. So hotel travel. Families are responsible for all travel and lodging. Hotels must be booked through the tournament housing unless specified by Katie Stars. We will send you room infos. This is important. I need everybody to watch their emails because it's coming from Aaron. All these tournaments we've entered, we are now secured, but we're not finalized until the hotels are booked because of USA's stay and play policies. So right now, they will give us a day notice. It's not on us. They're gonna say it opens on November 8th. November 8th, we send that lockout, we lock it, we've gotta get it pretty fast because it'll close. And if you miss it, then you have to go to the hotel. It's messy. It happens, we can get through it, but it's much easier. We block that block. Y'all don't have to pay for the rooms. You just go reserve the room. If you decide not to, you want something else and you get it, it's legal, do it. But block the room because they're looking at our team to make sure all the team is booked. And that's the reason we need you guys to go to reserve the rooms. It's not because we're trying to force you, it's because they literally, we can get booted from a tournament that's not done. And they don't give us a lot of time. So it seems like, do this now. It's not because we waited, it's because that's what they're telling us. We're on the same thing. Watch your emails, keep an eye on the housing info. And as far as holding up flights, the schedule that's coming out in your packet, there's 2 of them, okay? One is gonna be like a straight white piece of paper with the stars, it's a nice looking, stars logo on it, and it's like just regular type. The other one's got like your roster and everything on it. The one that's white is the most current schedule because we printed the other one with the rosters. There's been a couple of teams that had slight changes. So the white schedule is the one that's most current. So if you're looking to get a flight or something like that, that's the one you want to use. And again, once those hotel rooms are done, we're done. But just be aware the white one is the most current. Team scrimmages, I'll send something out about that, so I'm gonna lock it in until we do the repping thing. Now the beauty of having these, since we're just getting this building, there's no other programming. So we may throw some nights together, like I may send something out to 18s and like, if you guys wanna jump in with the 17s and have an open gym for 2 hours to play on a Sunday, we can do that. Once we get open and kicking, but the set scrimmages will be coming out later. Huddle and game tape, the top teams will have huddle, and possibly a couple of the second teams as well. It just depends on the financial side. We'll send that out probably about a week or 2. They've already got it set up, I just haven't sent it out. And sports are going to be coming out for everybody as well. If they don't have huddle, you can use YouTube. To be honest with you, it's not that much different than huddle other than stats, but huddle's overly expensive. And we already exported the food, so the recruiting side really doesn't matter. But I do like having the stats sometimes, so it does have one advantage, but Huddle on YouTube, I mean, it's game day. If you're gonna watch game day, watch game day. It's that simple. We will need a parent from each team to do the huddle stuff. So tournaments, please don't approach the coach during the tournament. That's the last time that you probably want to do that. A, if you're hyped up. B, they may be hyped up, and I'm sure if they lost, they're probably trying to figure out why. So having a distraction, having to explain something is not going to come out clearly anyways. So please don't approach your referees. Coaches will have rules for all the away games and all that kind of stuff. Postseason, so ironically this year it's in Dallas. So if we qualify, we're not for the 18s. I don't know, God knows where we're going. They always send us somewhere else on the planet. But everybody else is in Dallas. So when you go to Dallas, or if you qualify, go to Dallas. If not, we're going to try to get in Patriot so that we're not having to fly to Orlando and we can go to the big tournament in Dallas. It saves you a lot of money on travel for all the top teams. And if the second team decide to add that, we can add that in. We'll talk about that at your meeting. During overnight travel, your coach will determine your curfew. It is your preference to stay with the players. As far as like if you're not going to be there and you get them with another family, it's your responsibility to set that up. Fun fact, so consider practice a time for yourself and your health. Unless you're the coach, remain the parent. Let your child live moments of sports. Watch and enjoy the game. I know the girls don't like this one, but get out in the backyard and toss the ball. Never works well for volleyball. Recognize the efforts of a team. Introduce yourself to the coach in person before there's a conflict. I can't tell you how important that is. Like before season gets starts, make sure you meet your coach. Make sure you introduce yourself to me. Know people. Because I had a situation last year where a parent was firing at me. Well, it wasn't me, but they were upset with the situation, and I'm the director. And they were barreling, and they came up to me, and Monica can attest to this because she saw it, literally just going off. And I just looked at the guy, I was like, I'm Preston. It's nice to meet you. Am I lying? And everything just stopped and goes, oh, I'm so-and-so. And then everything just changed. It was like, oh. And then we talked that, it took about 5 or 10 minutes to diffuse, and that was it. But if I don't know you, I can't help you out. I don't know your kid. Like, I can't tell you, like, why'd she get subbed? I have no idea. She's 4 foot tall and plays middle blocker. That's not true, I'm sorry. Take your daughter to see good volleyball and other sports. The child learns sportsmanship from all of us. I hold our coaches and myself accountable for that. How I act at matches, like there's times where I would love to go ballistic, and I don't, because I'm just not going to be that guy, because I don't want them to see it. So I just get a little red-faced and stop working on that. Take your daughter to see good volleyball. Encourage balance and time management. As far as seeing volleyball, like watch different levels. Because the reality as a volleyball player is it's a craft, right? And if you watch a volleyball game, watch your position. Y'all are old enough, like you play middle, watch what the middle's doing. Don't get caught up in the game, watch what she's doing. What shots does she use? Pull a couple things off these kids you see, but if you're watching Olympians, you're also not touching a 12 foot. Right? So watch like a D3 game, watch a D2 game, watch a good high school match. Like watch different levels to see what these kids are doing. Watch singing. Just watch different levels of game. Don't just get caught up in the highest levels because a lot of stuff's really kind of unrealistic. It's fun to watch. Social media. This one for the older is important. If you post something, we're gonna find out. We don't want to find out. It just happens. You post something, somebody's going to share it. And when you post it, college coaches see it. I need to drive this home. Don't post it if it's negative. It's gonna come back at you. Like I know sometimes you want to make a joke about something or you think it's funny, you make a TikTok and you got your jersey on or something like that, and you're doing something, there's bad words flipping on that video, that will cost you your college scholarship without question. And if anybody's played college, she's shaking her head, I'm not lying. Don't do it. The minute you put that stuff online, it's going to come back around. The first thing I talk to coaches about is they go look at your social media accounts right off the bat. They watch that and they watch how you act on the bench. Those two things are the biggest implications of your college career. Please don't do it, right? Parents, y'all can post what you want, that's up to y'all. But ladies, do not post that stuff on. Now, saying that, follow us on Facebook. So we post a lot of stuff on Facebook. We try to post pictures. I had some pictures sent to me late. I'm trying to post some of the high school pictures. You can send them to me, but we're working on a little more social media stuff to get it out there for the girls. procedure. So communication is extremely important. We're doing everything possible as an organization to be better at that. I'm looking at having somebody do our communication side that takes it off of me, that's more organized with that stuff, so I can focus on what I do. But right now, it's just two of us. So we're doing the best we can to communicate from the club side. Now, from the coaching side, they should be communicating with you. Okay? If there is an issue, everybody in this room that's a player is above 15. You need to go talk to your coach. It's really easy in today's day and age to send a text message that you're going to miss a practice. Don't press send. Just call your coach and be like, Coach, I'm not going to be at practice. If they don't answer, then shoot a text. But being accountable for the stuff goes a very long way. If you don't understand why you're not playing, you need to go talk to your coach. It's just like life with a job. If something's going on at work, you need to be able to communicate with your boss, right? Sometimes you don't want to do something at work and you have to. But you'll have to learn how to get through being nervous about talking to a coach, because I didn't hire a coach that's going to blast you for communicating with him. It's not going to happen. Come up with your questions, think about it, and go on the meeting. If that doesn't work, try one more time. If it doesn't work, then bring your parents involved, right? But you need to make sure you understand why somebody's doing that stuff. And if they can't explain it, then there is an issue. And that's where we help. But if you don't understand something, talk to your coach. Why am I not playing? Okay, well, first of all, you're high error right now. I need you to dial this in, and there's a blocking disadvantage. So I'm moving over here. Got it. So I need to work on low error, this and that. Yes, okay, done. And go work on that and try to work your way up. Because the reality is the better you get, the better the person in front of you is. And the more you win. That's how it works. If it's not addressed with the player and the coach, then have a parent meeting. Set it up with the coach. Don't do it right after something happens. Please don't send an email the day of a tournament when you're pissed and you send it to that coach, because A, 9 times out of 10 when I talk to a parent, they would have toned it completely different 2 days later. That night you're hot, you're like, and I mean, it's just, you're nailing it. It goes out to that coach, and the coach reads it, and they take it personal, and it's not a good meeting. If you wait 24 hours, 48 hours, cool off, send a message like, I really want to understand this, that changes the whole dynamic. But set the meeting with the coach and the parents, y'all sit down and talk it out. If it doesn't get worked out, then I'll respond to it, or soon we're hoping to have a parent liaison. We've talked about a couple people doing that, where they can help with that as well, okay? Just times for coach to coach. Just a little smile there. When you're happy, great. Bad time when somebody's yelling. That's a really young Bill Belichick. You can tell how old that slide is. Holy cow. Parent ed. I highly encourage you to do this. It's not mandatory. If you don't do it, you're not going to hurt my feelings. But it's really hard to have a discussion with a parent when they don't know anything about volleyball. Right? And I don't mean that to be offensive at all. But when somebody's offering for free to stand in front of you and educate you on something that your kid's doing, I promise you, you'll love the game more. Right? Alicia, I know I just used you as an example. So I played collegiate rugby, and I love watching rugby, and I never do it because I know she doesn't really get it. So one night we watched the USA play Scotland, and we were watching. I was explaining what was going on in the game, and all of a sudden she said, "Oh," and she got all into it. Right? Ended up being like the first time the U.S. ever upset at Scotland. It was crazy, but she was all into it. Then she actually liked watching rugby. Right? If you understand what's going on with that coach and what they're doing and the adjustments they're making, it's really fun to watch because volleyball moves really quick. Like flipping bases and stuff is fun at the higher levels, right? So we can show you what we're doing and why, and at least that way you could be like, hey, I see what you're doing. I don't agree with it, but now I understand it, right? And then secondly, again, it's just you have a conversation with your kid, because I know there's times you have a discussion with the kid, you're like, I don't understand why you didn't spike the ball like this, and they're like, please don't say that word anymore. Say it, please, you know, it's like little stuff like that go along with your kid. So not mandatory, but you're more than welcome. I'll go over different terminologies. I'll explain what a double is, so you can throw it up for a reason and not do it at the wrong time. Basic defenses and offenses, positions, coaching strategies, tendencies, and then we'll have a Q&A. And the main thing the only ask I have in all this is if we're in a parent ed meeting, make it general, don't make it about your kid. Right? Because A, I probably don't know what your kid's doing on our team, and B, it changes the whole dynamic of the meeting, because the other kid you're playing in front of is probably sitting next to you anyways, and they're like, why are you bringing that up right now? So dismissal, we have a zero tolerance policy for drugs and alcohol. So if they're caught with it, they're out, and you'll be responsible for the dues. If an athlete is removed by parents at a tournament site without permission from the coach, we'll consider it that you resign. Parents, please be supportive of the entire team. All KD teams and tournaments don't engage in behavior that reflect Nickel League stars. Values for parents are no different than athletes in this regard. I will say this: people do watch us. And 9 times out of 10, like, people want to be us because our parents are really cool people. Like, you can look around this room, if you got a second, if you introduce somebody in this room, they'll make you a better person. There's a lot of really cool people in this room, right? During games, sometimes those change. We get a little aggressive and what have you, right? Just understand that you yelling at the bench at your kid is distracting at the older age groups us from doing our jobs. If you're lighting her up for shanking a pass, I don't care that she shanked the pass, just don't shank for her. Like, don't worry about the shank pass, just try not to do it multiple times. You're gonna shank a pass, you're gonna miss a serve, you're gonna hit a ball out of bounds, right? But understanding the differentials of when to do that, why to do that, when to play consistent or not, it's so fast that if your kid's distracted, it's gonna cause issues. So please don't yell at them during a game. It's your kid, you do what you want. I can't tell you how to parent, but I can tell you how to be successful as a coach. And if your kids are focused on what these coaches are doing, they will play better volleyball, guaranteed. And they'll have more fun with it. Because the last thing anybody wants to do is let y'all down. I can tell you as a director of this club, it sucks having phone calls where y'all are disappointed in something. It's just part of life, right? But the kids are the same way. They shank a ball, they didn't mean to, right? But if they know they let you down, it goes a long way in the mentality. And the reality of the sport is, the tougher you are mentality-wise, the more you're gonna be successful. By the way, y'all can drink if y'all want. It's just the kids. Just letting you know. I'm not gonna dismiss you for drinking. Socials and rainy day. So I'm trying to get this off the ground. I'd like to have a fund for, like, if somebody has a family member that passes away, being able to send them flowers or some food. You know, if somebody's in the hospital that's in the club, being able to provide food, stuff like that. If something happens, we're working on just getting like a rainy day fund. We're not doing any fundraisers this year. We're gonna make it, break it. But this may be something that we try to raise some money for, just for a fund that helps people out, and that's it. And then as far as the socials, I do think as a community that was missed last year, we weren't able to do it much at all. We have our own building, and we also have a Cajun that cooks really good crawfish. So we may do like a crawfish boil or something like that when the building opens, and just come out and not think about volleyball, just eat crawfish, have a couple beverages, kids can play on the courts, and just be a family. You know, sometimes playing volleyball that's just horrible looking is fun. You know, when you guys get out there and play with them, it's just, you know, it's a different vibe of the game, and it brings back a little love. So we're looking at doing something here. There's a restaurant called La Finca out towards where we live. La Finca. No, it's not called La Finca anymore. It's called La Quintina. New. But we were talking to the owner the other day, and he's got 2 big rooms. And so, I mean, we live in Texas. Everybody kind of likes Mexican food. So we may do a night where, like, hey, I'm going to go to La Quintina, and I'm going to eat. Y'all are more than welcome to join. And the whole community comes. Cool. If 10 of us sit there, then, you know, half price margaritas. Not the girls. Okay, so I think I covered the majority of everything. We'll talk about the scheduling when you get with your team. So we've got 16 elite, 16 national, 16 nationals. Make sure 16 national. I got you. I said it a couple times. 17 elite was Frankie. I'm going to point on Drexen in a second to make sure. And then 17, 18, Monica, and then 18. So they will talk about your practice times and so forth. I think I said this, but as basketball finishes, you may be able to adjust some times a little bit earlier. But for right now, we got to make it through basketball season. So Frankie, where do you want to go? So Frankie's going to go over there. Hold up before you get up so everybody can see. So Frankie's going over there. Oh, hold on. Did I miss anything else? I got it. If I call your name, you're in trouble. Go see Tracy.
Charge!
Avery Allen, Angelica Chavez, Anna Clement, and is it Emily Cross? Jenna McGuire, Casey Miller, Taylor Morrow, Joanna, and is it Soleil? Soleil? That's a really cool name. Ariana and Zoe. Please go see Tracy really quickly. Other than that, I think we are good. So 8 teams will be over here. I'll meet you